I am here with David and Suzanne, and I'm about to get a piano tuning lesson. So thank you very much, David, for doing that. I'm very excited, and whenever you'd like to start, we will.
Okay, we're ready.
Okay.
So, it's fairly standardized. From the F down here on up, you have 3 strings per note. And so that's the area. If you're going to tune the whole thing up, what you do, you take one of these strips and you just poke it between so that only one string, the center string, will actually vibrate. I'll show you.
The center string. So you're putting the red felt on either side?
See the grouping of 3 there?
Yeah.
So it's going to go right between the grouping of 3.
Oh, where there's a wide enough space.
And that leaves the center string open and will actually make sound.
Can I turn on this light here to the hall light so there's
Yeah.
more light? Where is that? Oh, okay.
I'll start from the other end. The end one you have to kind of fudge it. I got a wedge in there, one of the wedges.
Why is the blue wedge in there?
Because there's no way to make the felt get the end one.
Oh, yeah, so that way you dampen it on the other side with one of the little triangular foams. And how far across do you go with the red? All the way, or?
Until I run out.
Oh, okay. So you don't stop at like an octave or anything where this gap is?
No, and it's kind of an arbitrary gap anyway.
Oh, it is? Yeah, actually it's true. It's like at about A for some reason.
I'm not even going to do all this because it's too time consuming, but I just want you to see how it's done. So,
you really have to jam it in there, and that doesn't
It's
put too much pressure on the strings or
no.
anything?
No. I've used a screwdriver because this is a little weak for it, so it's making it tough. At any rate, so it's starting off like that, and then each one, you're only hearing one string. Let's see now that I just hit to there.
So why are there 3 metal strings per note, per key?
It gives it a richer sound.
And does it add harmonics, or it's
No.
the same exact vibration on all 3?
Same exact one. That's why you tune those out first. So, like I said here. And then when you get those, so you use some sort of tuning device to get those in tune, and then you would like I'll first pull this one. Let's see. That's pretty close.
Do you have perfect pitch?
No.
How do you know that it's close?
I'll show you when I find one that's not right.
Oh, okay.
So I'll pull out the first one here. Okay, that's off a little bit. That means that this string is a little bit out. And the way I can tell, as you hear it, this goes, that shouldn't happen. That means it's out. And I will sometimes go ahead and dampen the previous one just to make sure it's not interfering. And then you put the hammer on.
You have to see which of these pins those strings wrap around.
Right. Fortunately, these are all going to be grouped in 3s, so it's fairly easy to see.
So it's one string per pin, and the pins are vertically on top of each other.
Right. So like this, all 3 of these are the F, and all 3 of these are the F sharp, and all 3 of these are the G. So this one is slightly off. Here you get faster, that means you're going farther away. Too far. That's why a bigger hammer is nicer.
So you want it to sound like it's laser right on the note.
Yeah, so there's no pulsation of the note. So that one is not correct. Again, this may not be entirely in tune with itself, but I know it's fairly close. So I'm not gonna take it any further than that. And then you got this one. That sounds pretty good. That's going to be the first and second string of the F sharp. And that sounds actually pretty good also.
Because it's not wavering?
Right. Pull off that one. That release, when I pull that out, it releases the third string for this one and the first string for this one.
Oh, right.
It's dampening two each time, but we're not playing that note, so it doesn't matter.
Now that you've
That's
pulled
pretty
it
close.
out, it adds the third string to the first two. And then you get to hear, make sure that that
Right.
string is in tune.
So now we've got two strings, the first and second string playing on this one. Yeah, close enough. That's a hair off. But I'm not going to worry about that. I want to get the couple that are really bad so you can hear how that goes and when you're tuning separate ones, and we'll do those down here. This is difficult to use down there. I use when I get down to the lower registers because there's two strings per note here, and then when you get down to here, it starts doing one string per note.
So the D below middle, no, two Ds,
Two Ds.
below middle C
Yeah, that one
has
that's just-
only one string because
And
the bass, it's a thicker string.
yeah, it just doesn't need it to gain any kind of richness. And that's close enough also. So then we go to again. And a fraction off again, I'm not going to worry about it. That one's off. That needs to be fixed. That's the first and second string here. So we just follow the string up and it's right there.
And so clockwise versus counterclockwise. So counterclockwise is more flat and clockwise is more sharp.
When it's really, really close, it's sometimes hard to tell which way it needs to go. That's the nice thing about the devices, they can tell you exactly. There. And it's the first string, second string, third string. And that one's fine.
So the top pin is the first string, middle is the second, and bottom pin is the third string.
Right. So when you have this thing in there and you're bringing it into tune with your device, then you'll be tuning the center one, bringing that into tune, and then you tune the top and the first and third ones to the second string. The second string is the one that you bring into tune first.
And you do that because the first and third are dampened by the felt on either side.
Right.
So before you pull the felt out, you are hearing only the second middle string.
Right. And that's when that's the one that you tune to whatever device you're using.
Oh, okay.
Now you can use the device to do all of them, but it's actually harder, more work. Other than
Why is
this,
that?
Because then you've got to dampen the center one, and what you have to do is, like on this first one, I would have to put one of these wedges between these two strings so that only the first string plays, and then you put in the, and tune that one to your device. And so it's just not worth it to me. I can get it with my ear fast enough and close enough.
It's wavering.
Yeah, that one is off. I thought that was the one I brought in already. Oh no, that's the second. That's the third string from that one here. Oh, I missed one. Rather than play with it, I mean, the first string is off. I missed it. With the big hammer, you can sit there and go like this and adjust it just the tiniest amount. It doesn't work with this little hammer. And that's as far as I'm going to go with that. Those didn't. I don't care about those because they're already close enough to suit most of my playing.
Can I try doing a couple so that I have the hands-on
Yeah.
experience.
This does the exact same thing as that. It's just like
Okay,
putting
so
in,
now you've dampened the first and third strings. This
Mhm.
one, now how do I correlate to where this is?
Oh,
Oh, I see.
It's that one right there.
I didn't see. Okay.
It's a C sharp.
Okay, so C sharp. And now we are only hearing this middle second string. Okay.
So normally you pull the felt out, but you can pull the first wedge out.
Okay, but how do I know that second one?
That's where you use your electronic device or whatever.
Oh, I
your
see.
tuning device, whatever.
Okay,
it is.
so we're assuming that I've already tuned that to
Right.
the tuning fork or electronic device.
Right.
Okay, so now that I hear that, so I take out and I release the first string. So I take out this. And what is this called?
That's a wedge.
A wedge. Okay, so
And
now.
there's two different. There's two types of wedges, and I don't remember what the different types are called, but it's a wedge.
Okay, there's longer ones and shorter ones.
Well, there's ones with a handle and the thicker ones. These are mostly for the lower strings.
Okay, where a handle would hit the side of the piano, I guess.
There's greater distance. It needs to be thicker.
Okay. So.
Okay, so now there's a little bit there, not much.
It is wavering a bit, but.
There's a little bit there.
So, how do I know whether to go up or down? It's just
when it's really close, it's kind of
you
hard
have
to tell.
to hit and miss. You do it up a little, see if that works.
It's usually the whole piano will be the same. They'll either all be low or all be high. So all you have to do is assume to start that it's going to be whatever the piano is. In this case, they're mostly high.
Okay.
So you're on the wrong string at the moment.
Oh, I thought it was
I did.
C sharp.
That's the last one that I did. So
Oh.
you're on this one. Or no, this one down here. But you can follow the string and see that it's going up here.
So it's this one right here. Okay. Put that on.
Yeah, you're off now.
I'm what?
Oh, shoot, that's the wrong one.
Oh.
Oops. Want to try to bring that one back in? Put
Sure.
it back on the one you had.
I don't remember which one it was now. This one? Okay.
Let's see. Yeah, it's that one right there. Here. So, let's just do this. So you're only comparing to. Too far. I'm pretty close. Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
So you got that one back.
So
Now let's go ahead and get. Now we're done to the next one.
this one?
No, that's the center string. So this is your first string. Top one. They're sets of 3, but they jog up and down. So that one was my fault because I told you the wrong one, but.
Okay, so
It should
so the
slide
top
over.
one is the
First
string.
And
You said that most of them are sharp. Okay. No.
That's too high. It's tricky. There you go.
That sounds good. Okay.
And now
And
the
then
bottom.
this is the bottom one, right?
And it's fine.
It's fine. Okay.
Okay,
So that was C sharp, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, it sounds pretty good. And it entails doing every single pin, and that's why it can take hours depending how out of tune the piano is.
Mm-hmm. And we got, let's see, which is it? Yeah, this one's way off. This is where it takes a little more. You're gonna hear, and no, you're used to doing the other way around, so let's do it this way. Wedges go in easier this way. You're hearing the second string. I put my finger on it like that, and it goes thud thud. So I know I've got the right string. and follow the string up, and that goes to this stud.
So we're doing the second, so you're saying, has the first string already been tuned to the electronic device, or you're not?
No, we're tuning to the rest of the piano now.
Oh, okay.
Because a lot of electronic devices will only work from about here to here.
From about,
And some of them will only do 1 octave.
and what were you saying, many will only do from C
The
below?
better ones,
No,
F
that's
to F.
F to F.
So that they have the full range of C to C, plus a few extra on either side. But
Okay.
there are some of them that just do that. And that's it.
So now that we've tuned the C sharp above, we to go 1 octave lower and tune that C sharp to the one above it. That's already in tune.
Right. Now let me show you something. What I do, like, okay, I did from here to here, or here. Yeah, we did from there to there. So what I'll do is I'll just take, okay. Do you hear any vibration in there? Just a little bit, but nothing spectacular. Again.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Hear that?
Not good, yeah.
Okay. So again.
So you're basically hitting the octave,
Yeah.
both keys in that octave. C sharp upper, C sharp lower.
So put a wedge in there. That blocks off the first string. And that's the second string that's still playing. And again, we follow the string up to the stud. It's this one.
Okay, so we found the stud.
Okay, and then you're going to play those 2 notes. You passed it.
Okay. Barely move it.
One of the other things that happens is the longer you wait between tuning, the harder it gets to move that into the right spot.
And these never get oiled or anything with WD-40?
No, that would make them go out of tune so fast it wouldn't.
Oh,
even
right,
be
because
fun.
they would be slipping all over the place.
Mhm.
So am I still flat?
Flat now. Here we go.
Okay.
Sometimes you just have to go back and forth a couple times until you hit it. Okay, and then we
So you develop your muscles in your right or whatever hand
It's
you're using.
much easier if you have a bigger hammer.
Yeah, because I started feeling this hitting the middle of my palm,
Mm-hmm.
and I can picture getting a bruise there
Yeah.
after. Yeah. So
Yeah,
whereas if you're just pressing against this,
Yeah,
the shaft.
I
so to speak.
had one that was about this long, and the end of it was like this big around, so it's a lot easier on your hand, and it's a lot easier to work. Okay, so we're going to move up, straight above. That's the first string of that same note. You were doing D.
C sharp.
So now you're going to bring that one.
Do I hit them both at the same
You
time?
don't need.
Oh,
You can
just-
hear it with the one.
Right.
So just bring those 2 in together. It'll be up, down. Might overshot it. Let me try going lower. Now you've overshot
I know.
it. Now there you go. Got it.
Okay. I couldn't hear before. It sounded good to me, and you said you may have overshot it, but I couldn't hear
It
that.
was just a hair.
Yeah,
Hair off.
your ears are more fine-tuned than mine at
But
this
if
point.
you get it anywhere close and
Well-
you just keep doing that,
Yeah,
one, you will get more and more used to hearing it, and you will hear more of it. And 2, you will be getting your piano closer and closer, and it gets easier and easier.
okay. That sounds a little flat to me, though.
It's a D flat, so of course.
Oh, okay. But it
It's close
doesn't-
enough. It's a
doesn't-
hair off.
Yeah,
It's
it
just
doesn't
not-
sound like
It's not
way-
going to. I've already tuned that one once, so it's
Okay.
not going to stay anyway. So I'm just.
Okay. Okay, so then what are we doing?
So now we go to.
C.
See that one's a little off. Not bad. Don't worry about it. Let's get the bad ones.
Okay.
Next one.
B.
That's
Very,
off.
that's very bad.
Okay, so,
Okay,
so here, your turn.
okay, so
I use my finger first, so like, go ahead and put, okay.
Oh, to see which one it's actually hitting, because there's
Right.
two so close to each other. Oh, I
So
see.
now,
So it's so you just dampened the first one,
yeah,
and we're hearing the second one.
it should be, no, so put your finger on the other one and make sure it goes dead. Yeah. Just hold it on there, and then hit the string.
Oh, hold it on there first.
Yeah, okay, so you got the right one.
Okay.
So, again, now you're going to follow it up.
Okay, so following the second string is this one right here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
This is fun. I'm getting my piano tuned. This will go on any number of ways. And
Right.
since you're going to need to go down, I would
Okay.
have it about there so you.
Oh, I see.
You have
Are
it-
these four sides or octagonal?
I think they're four-sided.
Okay. So there's four different positions it will slide
Yeah,
on.
it depends. I didn't look at. Yeah, this is a four-sided. I had an
Square.
eight-sided one so that you could get eight positions on a four-sided cube. So, but
Okay, so now
That-
we
that's
were
not
at this C. No, we
Nope.
were at B. I'm sorry.
that's it.
Okay, so
Now that's where you need to do your octave. So
oh,
you can hear.
okay. Okay, so how do I just start moving in one direction or another?
Yeah, and in this case, most of these are too high, so overshot.
I can barely
I think
move
you got
it.
it. Almost, not quite. A little bit more.
It's overshot.
You can try experimenting, holding in different ways, which it might get to better. Too far.
Oops.
That's close. Close enough.
Okay. So now we have the B octave done, second string. Now we take out the damper, whatever that's called again,
Yeah, that's wedge.
wedge. And now we're going to do the first string.
Correct. So
Okay.
it's good to follow the string up before you take the wedge out because
Oh,
it's really
right.
hard to see
Right,
which
right.
one you were on.
Okay,
So-
so it's this one. Just a minute. It's this one,
Mm-hmm.
and it's going to this right here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sometimes it's a good idea just to move the hammer before you do anything. You're like you were on this one, so you know the next one's going to be here, and you just move it up there, and then you double check it because it's really easy to screw up.
Oh, okay. So you're basically going
Yeah.
like with the pins,
Yeah, you're
like
just zigzagging up.
the chevron,
Mhm.
right?
Okay,
Zigzag.
so now you pull your wedge out.
Okay. So let me listen. Obviously, not in
Mhm.
tune with itself. Okay. So you
It'll
said it's
probably
probably
be down.
high.
Yeah, so you probably have to go.
Okay. What do you think?
It's low.
I can't barely move this pin.
Close enough.
Okay, yeah, I just can't tell. But I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
I still hear a little wavering.
Yeah, there's a little teeny one in there, but like I said, I'm going to have to redo them all anyway
Okay.
because they're all going to go out again.
Yeah.
It's been too long since it was tuned, and it took a lot of banging around. So
When you said you just got this though. I thought.
my brother had it, and I
Right.
just got it from him about a month ago.
Did you tune it when you first got
No.
it? Oh,
I've been doing the really bad ones here and there,
I see. But
but I
it
haven't
has.
really gone through it.
I see. Okay.
So you now have all the, Thanks. The only thing, like, if you have a better hammer, it'll be a lot easier. But I just do, since I've just been using this one, I've just been experimenting, trying to find which ways I can have the most, put my weight into moving it so I can do it the most smooth.
Right, because you want such tiny increments. And if it's so hard, you can't, you want to just jerk it because you'll definitely be way off.
Mm-hmm.
So to do these minute increments smoothly, and when it's like barely budging, there's a real mechanical dilemma in there.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes you can like just sit there and pretend to go to the next one, and you can do like this, but that really only works with the big hammers. Where
To do the tapping.
Yeah, but so when you have a big one, you can just do like that, and it will move tiny, tiny amounts, and you can really get close. But anyway,
Okay.
You're welcome to do as many as you want, but you basically have all the stuff.
So let me do one completely on my own.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we'll find the next one.
Right. So we were just doing B, so it must be on B flat now. So. And we already moved it. Oh, but I have to put the.
No, you find the one that's bad first. No. Okay, that's bad. I can hear it. It's not in tune with itself even.
Right.
So,
okay, so then I take the wedge. Wait, I first put the wedge in, and so I have to.
You know it's bad. Normally you would be doing the octave first.
Yeah.
But you know this one's bad. It's not even in tune with itself.
Oh, you're saying before putting the wedge in?
The octave is how you find the bad ones.
I see.
And it's off.
But before I move the hammer, I always have to have a wedge in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, always.
Okay, so this one is hitting these two.
Yeah.
So the wedge.
Make sure your finger is only touching two.
Yeah. So I think the wedge goes right in there.
Play the note again, make sure.
But I take my finger away now, right?
You can, yeah. Okay, so yeah, you're only blocking one. And put your finger back again.
On the second one, only.
Okay.
So I've got the right one. So now I play the octave of B flats. Doesn't sound too bad, does it? Or
no,
well,
it's
yeah.
It's a tiny touch.
And you would guess.
We haven't placed that one yet. It might be in the right one, but I have to make sure you've got the right string.
Oh, okay. So I have to follow it up for the second string, which is, yeah, that is the correct pin or stud. Whoops. No, I know. Should I try again or not?
Well, let me show you something. I noticed something. You had no problem turning it that way, right?
Yeah.
So when you want to go this way, move the hammer over. You can put your weight on it.
Oh.
And
yes.
Yeah, just remember that you now have a lot of weight that you can put on there. So you ease it on very carefully, so you don't make it jump.
Too much, yeah.
And again, that's an awkward position. Go ahead and take the hammer off and move it.
Okay.
So that you have the leverage. You're going the wrong way.
Oh, that's right. Sorry.
You got lots of patience. It's really gradual and increasing. You actually had it closer before.
Pardon?
You had it closer
yeah.
before. I'm going to give myself that. Go ahead. And the other thing is that there can be some snapback So if you have the big hammer and you can do real gradual pressure like I just did, I was just using my body weight. When you let go, you'll find it sometimes will drop just a tiny touch or go up just a tiny touch. So you have to sometimes if you take the pressure off slowly, and if it doesn't change, fine. If it starts to change, you just have to give it a little bit more and go just a little past that perfect spot and let it come back. Okay, so now you pull your wedge.
Okay, but first, before pulling it, I need to follow the string, and it will be right above it, this one. So I put that on there. Actually, since most of them are sharp, I'll put it on leaning to the left.
Yeah, you really want that hammer on there securely. There, that's good.
Okay, so now
you can pull that one.
I pull the wedge out, and we're on B flat, and
way off. Gradual pressure. Just take your time.
yeah, it's like right in the center there.
See, that's what I would say. If you put the pressure on real slow, real gradual, it's a lot easier to hit it. That's why you want that leverage.
So that sounds okay?
Yeah, that sounds fine. Again, all of them are going to go out, so I don't care if they're perfect.
Okay, so now I go down to A and play the octave to see if the lower A and the upper A are in tune with each other. No, very bad. So what I do is I now find the two keys that the two strings, and they're these two. So I'm going to put the wedge in below the first string, and then I dampen the second string with my finger. Oops, I just hit my finger. That's not going to work.
Actually, I think you missed. Go ahead, hit it again. Okay, you got it.
So now that the wedge is in, I'm only tuning the second string of the A, and I'm still playing the octave?
Right, because you only got one string. You need a second one to compare it to.
Okay. It's really off.
Because you haven't moved the hammer yet.
Right.
Oh. You haven't moved the hammer. You haven't changed the pin that you're on.
No, I did. I thought I moved it up.
Did you? Let's see. Nope.
Oh, I didn't?
Nope.
Oh, okay. I thought you said
you do.
You gotta make sure it's secure, and I didn't think I had turned it yet.
That was on the previous one, actually.
Oh, okay. So now the one that's doing this string is that pin there. Okay.
And hammer this way.
Hammer that way. Get on there. Okay. David's School of Piano Tuning 101. Okay.
I may have to leave this on YouTube. I never could find anything like this when I was learning it.
Yeah. Okay, so now I played the A octave. Whoops. A little more?
Just a hair. There you go.
No, I did it too much. Yeah. Because I did the hair and then I felt it go past. So now I have to turn this in the other direction.
Yeah, it's not quite so critical when you have a good hammer. But
Yeah.
for just a fraction of a second, then. There it is. You passed
I know. It's like I got there and then I passed it.
it. Right. Hit it. It's got a flat spot. It'll have to be good enough for now.
Okay. You think it's sharp or flat?
I think it's a hair sharp.
So you don't want to try like tapping it a little?
I'm gonna buy a bigger hammer so I can do it better later. But that one's got a bad spot on it. It doesn't want to sit,
Oh,
and that does happen. Especially the older the piano, the more likely that is.
I do have a question because pianos get really dusty inside.
Mm-hmm.
Does it help to somehow use a blow dryer and get rid of a bunch of the dust and dirt and mites or whatever might be inside the piano?
I've never known it to make a difference.
Okay, if somebody wanted to, is it okay to do that using just a blow dryer?
You don't want heat.
So a cold blow dryer.
Yeah, a cold blow dryer or a vacuum or something like that you could use. I've done that.
Vacuums suck though, they don't push
Yeah.
air out.
Yeah, I've used
Or-
a vacuum and I've used a compressor. The blow dryer doesn't have that much volume, so it might not do much.
Right.
Anyway, let's go ahead and get that one in tune with itself.
Okay, so now
It's
we're
close
on.
enough.
So now I just pull the wedge out, right?
No,
I have to move this.
I would move that first.
Right, that's what happened last time. Okay, so I take it out, take it off, I put it up on the next zigzag one, which is here. That's okay. Yeah, it doesn't feel real stable, like it's jiggling
Yeah.
around on each, even though it's pushed in as much as I can think of it. It jiggles.
Yeah, it's a cheap hammer.
So the good ones will not jiggle like that. Like, is that a way you can tell a good one versus a non-good one? Is it's not?
The ones I've had in the past, like I said, I just bought this as a cheap set because I needed something right now.
Right. And you could work with a cheap set better than someone like me.
Right.
Okay. So A.
Now you got to pull the.
Pull the wedge out. Okay, it's very bad, so it might be sharp.
Yeah. And remember, real slow, gradual. The slower you go, the easier it's going to be in the end.
Is that close? Okay.
A little bit.
Okay, yeah, I can hear the difference. It's like right, laser beam right on the note. Okay, so that sounds good. Okay. Now, most likely I will then be moving down to the next one here.
Yeah, that assumes the next one down
Is out of tune, right? So now we go to 8 flat.
It
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Okay, so now I have to find out which two. Well, let me see where it's going. It's going to be these two. Okay, and then, so I have my finger on the 2. I put the wedge under the first string. And then this one is the second. I make sure that's actually the one. Whoops. Again, hitting my finger.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you got the right string, follow it up, make sure you're on the right peg. I'm sure you are.
Okay.
Because you moved it in advance.
Right. So now I would be the second one.
Yeah.
Yes, I am on the right peg.
Yeah. Making a mistake is a major pain in the ass because you can wind up throwing it way off because you don't hear it change because it's a different note. So that's why make double sure that you're on the right one. Do everything you can to make sure you're on the right peg before you start adjusting. And especially because if you throw it way out, it can really be a bear to get it back, and sometimes the string can snap on even.
Okay.
So you want to make absolutely positively sure that you are on the right peg.
So should I double check?
No, you did it. Yeah,
Okay.
You did 2 checks on there. That's good.
So now I'm tuning it with itself. I don't have to hit the octave,
No.
just the A flat.
No.
And oh wait.
You've only got one string. The other one is dead.
Yeah. Oh, I see. So I am tuning to the upper one.
Right. So now you're turning to.
Okay.
If you feel it moving, don't increase the pressure. Just keep the pressure going.
Okay.
And if it stops moving, then you can increase the pressure.
I can't hear quite yet.
You're getting closer.
Okay, I'm past it.
I think that's it.
Is that it?
It might be a hair off, but it's close enough.
It does feel the hair off. What do you think?
I'll tell you what. We're going to show you another little thing. When you're really unsure, I'm going to take it. I'm going to go over 2 spots,
Yeah.
put it in there, and we're just going to tune the top one.
Oh, okay.
Same thing. Two notes. Try tuning that one, and then we'll see if the 2 are in tune with each other.
So it does not sound like it's in tune.
No, it's way off.
Right. So now we're just tuning the first string
Mm-hmm.
with the upper octave.
Right. Don't rush. Now, pull the wedge out and see if the note is in tune with itself.
Okay.
Pretty close. We can hear that little bit of so it's a little off, but it's going to drop anyway. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
The first time you do it, don't be fussy, because it's going to change.
At least you're getting it closer.
You're getting it closer, and then like the second or third time, then you're going to want to. 1, you're going to be getting better at it anyway, and 2, you'll want to get it closer and be trying to fine tune it a little better, and it'll get easier. Not only are you getting better at it, but it gets easier to get it into the right spot as you get it used to sitting near the right spot.
It sounds almost like a chiropractic adjustment.
Yeah, it's
They
very
say
similar.
when you get your first adjustment, it'll go out real quick, but when you come back for subsequent adjustments,
Each time
your
it's-
spine settles in
Mhm.
to that place better, and then it won't move out of it. So it's the same somehow with metal
Yeah.
as with spinal fluid.
Metal and wood.
Metal and wood.
It's just that grabbing on there, and it. I don't know exactly why, but it might be dust. It could be anything, but they settle into a spot. And that's why when they stay out of tune for a long time. It gets really tough to get them back.
Because they're already settled into the wrong spinal adjustment.
Right. It's like trying to treat somebody with a back that hasn't had it treated in 20 years. It's a bitch to get it back into place.
Right, because the muscles have tightened around the misalignment.
And the wood tightens around the misalignment on the peg.
Interesting. Okay.
And never ever do a piano from England.
Because?
The wet weather there makes the woods expand, and when it gets here, it can't be tuned. It does not hold the pegs. You have to. I started doing it on one piano and I gave up. You have to actually pull the pegs out, or get something to make that wood expand. I was putting glue in there that would settle in and stuff, and then I pound the peg back in and put a new string in, because it will not hold on to the peg. I mean, you sit there like we were doing here, and you hear go off, and you let go of the hammer, and you can see the hammer move. It would back off that far.
So you're saying the wet weather, the humidity,
Keeps the wood expanded, and when it gets here and dries out,
it shrinks.
it shrinks, and the holes get too big.
So would that not be the same with any humid climate, like Florida, other places on the East Coast that
Most
are
of the-
humid?
Yeah, my understanding is the places that are doing pianos and stuff there, they use humidity controlled rooms, and they dry the wood, and they do all kinds of special stuff. England, they have a wet weather, they don't care.
Okay, so
Of course, that may have changed now.
so
too,
that's
but
also true of like buying a piano from England.
yeah,
You're not going to be able to get it tuned without a lot of mechanical readjustment and work and construction
money.
and money. Okay.
I know that one because I found this absolutely gorgeous piano, and it was way out of tune, and I thought, well, so what? I've tuned worse. And I got it home, and like I said, I'd sit there and I'd get it in tune, and I'd let go of the hammer, and the hammer would physically move.
So how did you find out it was from England?
I looked at I looked it up on the internet, not on the internet, but there was internet then. So, but it wasn't as extensive as it is now. But I looked up the company, and I found out about when it was built, and so I knew what was going on with it. But oh my God, it was such a gorgeous piano. It's absolutely made a lot. The whole front was done with burl wood. It was just gorgeous, and I thought, oh my God, I'm going to make a bundle on this thing. And I actually had to sell it at a loss because it was untunable. When I sold it, I told the guy, it's furniture. It is not a playable instrument. It's furniture. It's gorgeous furniture, but it's furniture. He still got mad when he couldn't tune it, but.
So you're saying that if it was in a humid climate in the United States, they use a climate-controlled environment to do what? To build it, you're saying, or to tune it?
To build it.
To build it.
No, all the wood is kept in stuff, and that may be more a contemporary thing than it is a U.S. thing. It's just I know that's what they do in the U.S. now. Mm-hmm. It's all climate controlled, so that the wood won't shrink or expand when they're done. And they dry it really, really well before they start drilling holes, so that there's very little room for the wood to expand or contract.
It's kind of like what you were explaining with the bamboo flooring. You need to take it out of the package and put it in the environment that it will ultimately be installed in, and so it can expand or contract and settle into one spot. Yeah. And
the contemporary pianos, though, they are actually drying the wood to the point that it can't. It is so dried out and stuff that it cannot expand or contract. So and they're now starting to use metal stud holders too.
Now this is wood.
Yeah, the
stud
wood
holder.
was always the standard in the past, but not anymore.
Okay. All right. So so when we get down, so now we're on 2 strings. Up here it was 3 strings. We're on 2 down here, and then when we get to, I think it was D. Yeah, the D, 2 Ds below middle C.
You can see the extras.
Oh yeah.
Double wide gap.
Yeah.
That's how you know you've progressed into the next section.
So it's this one right here.
Mm-hmm.
Oops, sorry. So with this one, you don't use the wedge anymore.
Right.
You're just trying to tune it to the one above, to the octave above. So let me just try one of these. So this
see if it's off.
Yeah. Let me just put it on here since I've already got it. I'll double check it in a second, but just get that on there. Okay. So now we see if the D is off. It's not too bad.
Yeah, it's just a hair. And I sometimes will check it. just in case this one isn't on.
Yeah.
And, it's a hair high.
Okay, so, but I can't obviously with one hand
No.
do 2 octaves apart.
No,
so
you're
I'm
just
gonna
doing
have
that for initial testing. Make
Yeah.
sure, just to make sure that this one isn't way off.
Right. I do hear something off.
Careful, you're gonna pass it. I heard it change. Compare it with the compare it with the other one. Yeah, it's kind of splitting the difference between the two, so it's fine.
What does that mean, splitting the difference between?
Well, these two aren't 100%.
Yeah.
These two aren't 100%, and this is on 100%. It's all just kind of in the range. If you play a song with those notes in it, you're not going to really notice it because you're going to have so many other notes.
Yeah.
So it's close. The 3 of them. It's like one's a hair high, the other one's a hair low.
Okay. You think I should leave that or try to?
That's good enough.
Okay. So now I'll go down to D flat.
Exactly the same amount off. Yeah, see, so that means these two are probably not quite right. Yeah. 'Cause this is actually closer to this one. Those two are actually closer than these two. Again, it's splitting the difference. It's off on all 3 are off from each other. But
So
it could go down a hair, but you're not on that hit.
So this is the one, and then it's going to be this stud, 1 over. Okay, and then we double check it. It's this one, and we're now on D flat. Okay. So now I play those. I
good.
felt that one move. I hope you didn't overshoot
I don't
it.
think you overshot. If you did, you did. It's still way closer than it was. Check it against the upper D. That sounds pretty good, actually. Between the 3 of them, they're good. Oh, yeah.
That's okay?
Yeah.
All right. So tell me, when you start tuning, let's say your intention was to tune the whole piano, where do you start? Do you start at middle C and go up and then go back to the bass keys, or?
What I usually do, I do middle C to middle C.
Right.
First C, and then I do everything down here, and then I do everything up there.
Above the high C.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then which ones are you tuning? You're saying when you have the electronic tuning meter, it depends on that meter itself.
Yeah,
It'll tell you goes from middle C to high F or
and there are
the
some
F below.
do them all.
Okay, so and those are probably more expensive.
Yeah.
But it will definitely tell you what it tunes.
Yeah, it'll tell you what it's tuned. You have to tell it which one you're trying to tune.
Right.
And then like, so I do from here to here, and then I just. It doesn't really matter whether you go up or down. I usually go down first just because it's more comfortable for me. I find this easier. Mm-hmm. So I use those when I'm playing. I use those less, so I don't care as much. And these are easier to hear when they're out. When you're playing a song, even if you're playing full range on there, these you'll know it when you hit if the note's off.
Yeah, in the bass.
These you may
register.
not notice.
Okay.
So that's.
And if somebody's using a tuning fork and not the electronic thing. You would have to have a separate tuning fork for each of the notes that you're trying to tune.
Right.
So that's why you were saying they would come in sets of 8 or 10, because you'd have a C sharp, a D sharp, an E, an F. 12 different ones. Okay. All right. Anything else for that you'd like to add to people trying to learn how to tune a piano? Any other tidbits of wisdom?
Those are the only stuff. It's been too long since I've done it myself before, but that's the stuff I remember. Like I said, if you're doing the whole piano, you start with the felt and you shove it in between there, and then you tune those up. And you could skip doing this one just for the sake of not having to play with wedges, but you're going to have to do it sooner or later. So I do it right then and there.
Right. So, but that's the other ones you're just using the red felt.
Right.
The wedges only come into play when, now I've forgotten.
When you could do the whole. It's difficult. You could do all the triple strings with the felt fairly easily. It gets a little weird when you try to do them on two strings.
Because the felt is so thick, it's hard to get it in between down there.
It's a little hard to get it in between, and like this one, you'd be tuning just the first string, and then you'd have to pass two of them, and you'd be doing the second string on the next one down, and then the first string on the next one down. And so it's really awkward. It's a lot easier just to do it with the wedges.
Okay, so the wedges, except for the first one, which is F below middle C.
Yeah.
That one you'll use a wedge, and then the red felt or whatever color it is for the rest of the upper register. But when you go to the lower register below F below middle C, then you're going to be using wedges the whole time and not the felt anymore.
Right. The wedges, the small wedges like this, I mean, I use them all the way down, but they're intended for use up here when you're doing individual strings or individual notes or keys. So rather than, because well, you saw it's a little awkward getting the other one in there, and it can be really tough to get the felt in here. You almost have to use wedges with the dampener, because down over here you can get the wedges down below the dampeners. But here, getting it between where the dampener is and where the hammer hits is awkward, and there's so little space here. I mean, I managed to get it there, but getting two.
It's also because vertically it's like 1.5 inches tall.
Right.
The strings are much shorter.
So I managed to do it on that one, but it's going to get harder the further up you go.
Because you're having, a wedge from the left and a wedge from the right.
Right, and one of them has to be lower than the head, and the other one has to be higher than the head, because that's all the space you've got.
Yeah. But it's doable. And then you wouldn't be using the red felt at all, or you would still use it in the middle registers?
The red felt is difficult to use from here to here.
Okay.
Well, after you get past that, then you can go back to the red felt, because you can put them all down below the strings.
Okay.
But trying to think, and thinking back, I think once I got to this point, I just used wedges all the way.
To which point?
Once I got to this point where you see the break there.
Yeah, there's like a.
That's where it starts.
Metal bar.
Yeah, that's where it starts getting really close in here. And as I recall, I think I just used wedges all the way down from there.
Okay. All right. So, happy tuning, everybody. This is coming to you from the living room of David Beal in Crestline, California.
And it stopped recording somewhere along the line.
Oh no.
The battery ran low, and it put up the battery thing and stopped. Oh no, it says it's recording. I don't know if it's going to be